This needs to have an economic analysis, as my council person has pointed out. The impacts of tourism are going to vary by district.
I want people who are there, the council, to come here to Puna to see what has happened to us. We have been devastated by this lava eruption. That is nature. But what you are doing, and then the challenge I present to you on the council, is to create a bill that is a win-win.
It would be devastating to Puna. We have about 50,000 ag lots of 1 to 3 acres in substandard subdivisions. These are not well-to-do people who are living here and owning property. Many of them use their property as a short-term vacation rental, and that pays their mortgage. Many of these people are also retired and have no other way to get a job and earn more money now. So if these fees go in, that is like a half month's mortgage. And we're going to see people actually lose their homes with this kind of thing. I think that, as was said, this one-size-fits-all solution will not work for the people of Puna. We like our short-term vacation rentals, and we've just lost 3/4 of them. This is devastating to our local economy. So please rethink how this bill is dished out across the communities. We need an economic impact statement for how it's going to hit all of us, and it hits a condo owner differently than it does a retired person who's renting out a single home.
I also encourage you to hold off until District 5 has appropriate and legitimate representation. My partner and I own a professionally managed vacation rental in Lower Puna. We hire a professional, legal, and locally owned management agency to handle our reservations and maintain professional contact and contracts with our guests. We pay our general excise and our transitory accommodations taxes and operate in a legal and legitimate manner. We hire residents to assist with the upkeep of our property: housekeepers, landscapers, tree trimmers, trash service, handy people, plumbers, and electricians. The list goes on, really. All of these people pay the appropriate state, federal, and general excise taxes. In addition to being a vacation rental owner, my partner and I also are small business owners and service providers. Our small business focuses on managing the maintenance and cleaning of 25 or so vacation rentals on the east side of the Big Island. It was a huge hit to our service and those we enlist the services of to have lost 14 properties during the eruption. Service providers who worked with us regularly as housekeepers, landscapers, trash pickup, handy people, plumbers, all of those I mentioned above have suffered a huge negative economic impact. As it exists in its current form, Bill 108 stands to tremendously increase that negative impact on these individuals.
Good morning. My name is Dana Butler. I'm a homeowner in Lower Puna in the Kalapana area. This bill with a stroke of a pen will completely change the value of my home. In Seaview, Kalapana estates, probably 50% of the properties are already being used as a vacay rental. I currently live in my house, but I would not be able to be grandfathered in under this bill. I urge you to not go forward until an economic analysis of this bill on Lower Puna is done. In trying to fix a perceived problem, the bill seems to have ignored the issues affecting Puna. I also urge you to wait on this bill until after November, when Lower Puna has full representation on the council. I feel like our voice has not been heard. I also urge the county, Hawaii County, to address the issues of evictions and the sheriffs not being available to do evictions on the Big Island. Long-term rentals are not an attractive option for many homeowners here because of that issue. Thank you very much.
My concern remains Puna's economic viability. While I support much of what Bill 108 proposes, it uses outdated zoning to unfairly target all of East Hawaii and Puna in particular. By not allowing any new special use permits here, once the bill has passed, this bill will stamp out our access to the visitor industry within a couple of years. The Leilani eruption has given us a taste of life with far less visitor revenue. I know so many friends who used to earn a decent living and are now struggling to feed their families. Established businesses are being forced to close their doors, and many homeowners are just months away from foreclosure. Tourism's been in free fall since the eruption began, and it hasn't started bouncing back yet. Even though the small business I work for still supports 2 full-time employees and at least 25 housekeepers, yard workers, and handymen. Our homeowners pay out hundreds of thousands of dollars every year to a wide assortment of local businesses. And that's just our little company. This industry directly employs hundreds of hardworking Puna residents and contributes to the success of small businesses of all kinds. Almost everyone I know relies on visitor revenue to survive, and short-term rentals are our only visitor accommodation option.
I'm a long-term resident of Puna, and I'm in the process of building my dream home in Opee, just about 3 miles from Fissure 8. And my dream has been to have my own home and grow food and live a simple life. And part of my dream has been able to have the flexibility of coming and going, and so having the opportunity to rent my home out when I'm not here short term is incredibly valuable to me. My house, like most, I think, is over budget. It's a beautiful home, and the idea of not being able to rent out my home when I'm not here is a pretty huge hit in my projection into my sustainability. I've also had dreams of, with my ability to have second and third and fourth bedrooms detached, doing Airbnb.
Hearing some of the rumination in Puna has me deeply concerned. I know that as a farmer, especially on the east side, our biggest outlet for what we grow is local restaurants and farmers markets, and we very much depend on local tourism. What I'm hoping for is that the county council looks at this bill and tries to strike a balance between economic growth and the interests of trying to keep farmland to be farmed, and to keep our residential areas for our local people. There's got to be some sort of good balance being struck here, and I'm concerned about what's going on with Puna when I see that there's somewhere in the order of 400 to 500 rentals that are gone. And then if you start to look at the building code restrictions that are in the new bill, which basically are very unforgiving, it basically says that if your building is not up to code at the time the legislation goes through, well, guess what? You're screwed. You can't fix it. We won't let you fix it. You're out. I don't know about you, but I'm aware of Puna being somewhat a little bit of the Wild West, and there's a lot of homes that are unpermitted down there. My concern is that number of vacation rentals that are going to get shut down is going to grow even more. If you do the math on the amount of money that comes in from, let's assume it's somewhere around even if it was just 500 rentals, that's on average maybe, what, 4 tourists per day. You throw in a factor for 80%. And then you start adding it up and say, okay, well, each of those tourists is bringing us about $250 into the economy. By the time you put it all together, over a year, you're talking about multi-million dollars gone out of our market, and that has me concerned. So I don't know what's going to happen. I'm very much in favor of Bill 108. I've supported it from the get-go. I think it's striking some good balances to help local people and prevent the 1% from the rest of the world to be able to buy up our island and turn it into vacation rentals.